What does self-respect mean to you, and how does it shape the boundaries you set in your life? Ponder on this for a moment. Self-respect, a concept as significant as it is elusive, forms the foundation of our personal compass. It's the invisible guardian that shields us from compromise, from settling for less than we're worth. Self-respect is the inner voice that whispers affirmations of our worth. It's the unshakable belief in our inherent value. It's the silent negotiator that steers us away from situations that belittle our dignity and worth. It's the intangible force that shapes our interactions, drawing a clear line between what's acceptable and what's not. Self-respect is not about arrogance or self-centeredness. Far from it. It's about understanding our value and not allowing anyone or any situation to undermine it. It's about establishing healthy boundaries that protect our peace and happiness. Self-respect is a powerful determinant of the behaviors and situations we will or won't tolerate. First, a person with self-respect will never tolerate disrespectful communication. Now, disrespectful communication comes in various forms, and it's essential to recognize them. Verbal abuse, for instance, is a big red flag. It includes name-calling, shouting, and belittling comments. These tactics aim to undermine a person's self-esteem and should never be tolerated. Then there's ignoring or the silent treatment. It's a passive-aggressive way of expressing discontentment or anger. It creates a hostile environment where open and honest communication is stifled. Speaking of passive-aggressive behavior, it's another form of disrespectful communication. It's when someone expresses their negative feelings subtly rather than openly addressing the issue. It's a covert way of showing hostility and discontentment. Self-respect guides us in these situations. It helps us recognize these behaviors and demand respectful communication from others. It teaches us to value ourselves and our emotional well-being. After all, respectful communication is a non-negotiable requirement for anyone with self-respect. Next up, emotional manipulation is a no-go zone for those who respect themselves. Emotional manipulation is a subtle and deceptive tactic that seeks to control a person's decisions and behavior by playing on their emotions. It's a form of psychological warfare, often involving guilt, fear, and obligation. Now, why is this intolerable to those with self-respect? Well, self-respect stems from an understanding of one's worth and the firm belief in one's right to be treated with dignity and fairness. Emotional manipulation directly undermines this by attempting to strip individuals of their emotional autonomy, their freedom to feel, think, and make choices independently. Those with self-respect value their emotional autonomy. They understand the importance of being able to say no, and they do not allow others to dictate their feelings or decisions. They are aware of the signs of manipulation and are not afraid to confront it or walk away from it. People with self-respect recognize and reject emotional manipulation. Third and fourth, violation of personal space and trust are behaviors that self-respecting individuals won't entertain. Personal space is a sanctuary, a realm where we can be our authentic selves. When someone encroaches on this space uninvited, it's an infringement on our individuality and privacy. Similarly, trust is a pillar of any relationship, be it personal or professional. It's the invisible thread that binds us together. A breach of trust shatters this bond and fosters a sense of betrayal, which is a direct assault on our dignity and self-respect. Both these aspects, personal space and trust, are integral to maintaining the sanctity of self-respect. The violation of either is akin to undermining one's self-worth. It's crucial to remember that to respect oneself is to value one's personal space and trust. Self-respect means valuing your personal space and trust. Fifth and sixth, negativity and lack of support are not tolerated by those with self-respect. Now let's unpack this. Imagine you're a ship sailing on the sea of life. Negativity and lack of support are like holes in your hull. They leak in, eroding your self-esteem, and if left unchecked, they can sink your ship. But here's the thing about those with self-respect. They refuse to let these holes form. They know that they deserve to be surrounded by positivity, by people who uplift them, who encourage them to navigate the treacherous waters and reach their destination. They understand that everyone has down days, but constant negativity can act like an anchor, holding them back. Similarly, they recognize the importance of support. They know that sailing solo is tough. That's why they choose to be around those who offer a helping hand, who cheer them on from the sidelines. In essence, people with self-respect choose positivity and support. Lastly, unreciprocated effort is not something a self-respecting person will put up with. It's a fundamental principle of any healthy relationship, whether personal or professional, that the effort invested should be reciprocal. Meaning, what you put into the relationship should be approximately what you receive in return. Unreciprocated effort can be draining, mentally and emotionally. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy, resentment, and even burnout. It's like rowing a boat with two oars, but you're the only one rowing. You're not getting anywhere fast, and you're exhausting yourself in the process. Now, this doesn't mean that every interaction has to be a perfect tit-for-tat exchange. Relationships ebb and flow with give and take. However, a consistent pattern of one-sided effort is a red flag. A person with self-respect understands their worth and demands balanced relationships. They know that they deserve to be valued, appreciated, and reciprocated. They don't settle for less. Self-respect calls for reciprocated effort. Embracing self-respect means setting boundaries and not tolerating these behaviors. Let's recap. Disrespectful communication, emotional manipulation, violation of personal space and trust, negativity, lack of support, and unreciprocated effort are all behaviors that a person with self-respect will never tolerate. These behaviors can erode our self-esteem, making us feel less than we truly are. But by identifying these behaviors and refusing to accept them, we fortify our self-respect. Maintaining self-respect isn't just about standing up against these behaviors, it's about recognizing our worth. It's about understanding that we deserve respect, kindness, and consideration, just as we give to others. In our everyday life, self-respect acts as an inner compass, guiding us towards healthy relationships and away from those that don't serve us. It empowers us to make decisions that align with our values and aspirations. Remember, your self-respect dictates the behaviors you should never tolerate. Stand tall, respect yourself, and others will follow suit.